Hey guys, Michael the Comic Nerd here. As I'm sure a lot of you are aware by now, the Into the Spider-Verse new trailer dropped this morning. Everyone's been going apeshit over it. A lot of people getting some hype. It's got a huge amount of attention, and for a lot of good reasons. And I'm making this video because I just feel like I have to be the asshole and say I've got concerns. Also, I'm going to do something a little different this time, in which case I'm going to interspace this with clips from the trailer, add some title cards in here. So I actually have my laptop back with some decent editing software this time, so I'm going to have just a touch more effort, and hopefully YouTube's copyright system won't throw a bitch fit. So let's talk about the pros. Pros first and foremost, because there is a lot of pros here. There's a lot of very good reasons to be excited, and I definitely see why this movie is building a lot of hype really, really quickly. So let's go with those first, because there is a lot to cover. First of all, first pro, animation. Beyond question, gorgeous. Art style, gorgeous. No point in denying it, it looks fantastic, it's really unique, it's visually interesting, it's constantly engaging, it captures that comic book feel, it feels like a comic book come to life, absolutely great. Not 100% on some of the designs. The creature that I'm guessing is the Green Goblin looks a little, looks odd, but not terrible, just interesting. The brief glimpse of the Kingpin looks a little weird to me. Other than that, it's absolutely gorgeous. Hardly anything wrong with it. Next point.
Don't cops run red lights?
Well, yes, some do. But, not your dad.
Pro, Miles. I like that Miles getting the spotlight in this. I like the actor playing Miles. I like his dad. I think his dad's really, really funny. So yeah, that looks great. That's really exciting. Next point. The action, largely aided by the animation style. It looks really, really unique and really, it feels like Spider-Man. It feels like a really, making an animated Spider movie geared for more adult audience was a really smart move, because there's so much you can do with Spider-Man in animation that you can't do in live action. I think Spectacular Spider-Man is probably the best example of this. And it's the action looks fantastic, and yeah, those are all my positives. Okay, now let's talk about where I've got concerns, and the main thing I have is this. I don't think, I'm gonna get some hate for this, I don't think it's a good idea to make it a Spider-Verse movie. Now, let me be clear on that. I'm not saying they shouldn't do an extended Spider-Verse animated universe, because I think it's actually a really smart idea. I think it's a really good idea, and it's a good way for Sony to branch out into their own kind of Spider Multiverse thing without infringing on what Marvel's got going on their cinematic universe. Really, really smart. Really, really clever. Here's my problem. My problem is Sony, based on the trailer, and again, I'm only going off what's in this trailer. It's not enough for me to start blaring off red alert lights anywhere. It's just more in general, I feel like they're gonna do what they did with Amazing Spider-Man 2 and Spider-Man 3, which is try to push too much in your face all at the same time. Because let's review first off, let's review what went wrong with the other Spider-Man movies. Spider-Man 3, too many villains, too much going on, too convoluted, too nonsensical, didn't work. Amazing Spider-Man 2, same fucking thing. Too many villains, too nonsensical, too much going on, trying to set up too many other movies going forward, didn't work. And granted, I didn't even hate Spider-Man 2, Amazing Spider-Man 2 as much as a lot of people did, but I still acknowledge those are definite flaws that were in that movie, and I do not understand why Sony keeps doing this. And they kind of did with Homecoming 2, where they put 3 villains in there. But that movie kind of got away with it, because only 2 of the villains that were in there were just henchmen, and they didn't really get their own plot or anything like that. Shocker was just a henchman that Spider-Man fought at one point. The Tinker was just the inventor guy. He didn't really do fight Spider-Man one-on-one. They were still focused on one big villain, which was the Vulture. From what I can tell from just this trailer alone, there are 3. Again, for some reason, Sony keeps fucking doing this with Spider-Man, and it feels like to me they aren't learning their fucking lesson, and that's my big issue with this. My big concern, I should say, with this trailer. Now, I hope I am 100% wrong. I hope it turns out. I hope they finally figure out a way to make it work. I hope it's great, and I hope it's everything we want it to be. At the same time, though, it feels weird, like based on the synopsis I've read, that the main villains seem to be the Prowler and Kingpin, which is something that multiple Spider-Mans need to team up for some reason, because the Prowler and Kingpin don't really strike me as multi-dimensional villains, which means there'd have to be someone bigger like the Green Goblin. Now, the trailer kind of implies he plays a bit part, but it's also the Green Goblin, so I kind of have a hard time believing that's the case. I'm just guessing that he's going to play a larger role than what's in the trailer. Again, this is pure speculation. I could be wrong. So, not only are we doing the at least 3 villains that we know of, mistake that they've made in 2 other failed Spider-Man movies up to this point. They're doing it again. They're making this. It honestly feels like Sony has not learned a goddamn thing from the Amazing Spider-Man 2 and Spider-Man 3. It feels like they have not learned, and they keep doing it because they want to build their own extended universe. And again, I have no problem with them making an extended universe based on the Spider-Verse stuff. I think you can do a lot of awesome one-off movies with that. Give me a Spider-Man noir movie. Give me a Spider-Gwen movie. Hell, give me that one where he's in like Spider-Man 1602. Fuck it, why not? Have that lead to like a confrontation with Moreland. That'd be really, really cool. Hell, fucking Spider-Ham. Get Spider-Ham in there, why not? Here's my problem, is that it feels like instead of making this movie about what it should be about, which is a small story about Miles Morales and his uncle who's a villain, and let that be the story, let that be the dynamic. Hell, if you really need to, I'm even okay with bringing like Spider-Man from an alternate universe into that one, but keep it at that. My concern with this is they're just going to repeat the mistake, and they're trying to do too much too fast because they want to jump ahead. This is the killer point that almost every failed extended universe has done up to this point. DC made this mistake. The Mummy made this mistake with the Dark Universe. Remember that? They made that mistake in trying to do too much too fast and just assuming that it's going to work out and they're going to be able to make more movies. I do not get why they think this. Like, it's genuinely baffling to me that they keep making this mistake. They keep like, instead of just focusing on making the one movie they got good, they need to like oh no, it's got to be set up for a Spider-Gwen movie or other alternate Spider-Man movies. And again, instead of just making what you have good, like, if you're gonna set up for more movies, do it at the end credits, or do it at the very, very end, but don't make it the focal point of the movie, because then it just gets too convoluted and too distracting. So instead of being just a story about Miles Morales being Spider-Man for the change, it's a story about how the Spider-Verse comes into play. It's not about Miles anymore, it's about Spider-Gwen, it's about Spider-Man, it's about the other Spider-Mans and all across the universe. It just gets needlessly convoluted in what should be a very basic, straightforward story. And again, I could be wrong. I really, really hope I'm wrong. But let's be clear. It's very possible I could not be. Because as much as I want to be excited about this, because I was excited when Sony announced that they were going to do an animated Spider-Man movie like that. That is a brilliant idea. That is a great idea. On paper, doing like the Spider-Verse stuff, fantastic idea for Sony. But I don't trust Sony. That's really what it boils down to. Venom's going to probably suck. I'm calling it now. They've fucked up Spider-Man 2 times now. And because of Sony copyright bullshit, their best product, which is Spectacular Spider-Man, got canceled after only 2 seasons. And this trailer shows me that they have not learned a goddamn thing. And that worries me. That was really like just one long con. I have one other concern. Peter Parker. I'm not sure how I feel about this older Peter Parker who feels like if Jeff Bridges as the dude was Peter Parker. I don't know. That's when I'm just kind of willing to wait and see. But he doesn't strike me so much as great power comes great responsibility, so much as homeless man in tights. I don't know. That one I'm willing to just kind of wait and see on. That one's a minor in comparison to the big one. I think I got the biggest one out of the way. Overall, I really want to like this movie. I really want to be excited for this one. But I'm seeing them make that mistake again. I'm seeing the groundwork. for another disappointment coming your way, and I want you guys to start thinking ahead. Now, I realize this makes me sound like a gigantic asshole who's not happy with anything, and you're kind of right. But as I am a hardcore Spider-Man fan. If it's good, and I'm happy. And if I'm right, I'm not gonna say I told you so. But I'm curious as to your thoughts on the topic. Am I overthinking this? Am I wrong? Is it gonna like? Do you think it's gonna be amazing? What are your thoughts on it? Let's have a conversation. Don't be a dick. I don't tolerate dicks. You will be blocked or deleted if you start name calling or any of that bullshit. I don't tolerate it. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. And yeah, I'm gonna play one last clip from the trailer because I can, and I'll see you all later. Bye bye.
Come on. How many more spider people are there?
Save it for Comic-Con.
What's Comic-Con?
Let's go!